everyone, it's Haley and I have a big stack of books for the top 14 books of 2014.
My hair looks weird because it was wet from my shower.
The Coldest Girl in Cold Town by Holly Black. This book was so cool. It's about vampires, and I think it's a lot different than a lot of vampire stories. I guess it's pretty different, but I thought it was really awesome. I thought it was kind of cliche with all the vampires, because a lot of books are known for like the vampires, like Twilight. But it's just really cool, and it's so intriguing. It's kind of creepy, but it was so interesting, and I flew right through it, and I really liked it. So this is 14. It's towards the bottom because it wasn't my absolute favorite, but it was one of my favorites, definitely. Divergent by Veronica Roth. This was the very first book I read in 2014. I think it's a coincidence that it's almost 2015, and I read it last year. And this is a book that got me into YA. I loved it so much. And I honestly only liked this first book. I didn't like the rest of the trilogy because the factions were so amazing. I loved how Dauntless, it was so cool. And the factions were the best part about Divergent. But as soon as you got to the end of the book, the factions died off. And I really didn't like that about the book, but I really liked this book, and it was so fun, and it got me so happy and really loving books, and I really got into books after I read this book. Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare. I call this a spin-off of the Mortal Entrance, but it's actually a prequel, and this is pretty good. I love Shadowhunters. The whole Shadowhunter idea is so fascinating. It's so cool, and I really love that because I love Mortal Instruments. The thing is, it just wasn't as great as the Mortal Entrance. I feel like I'm comparing them, which is kind of bad, but it takes place in London, and I love London and Paris. I really want to travel when I'm older. If you didn't know that from my past videos, I'd always talk about that because books take you into a different world. That's what I love about them. And it takes place in the 1900s, and it's so cool to see what's in another country and back in a different time, and these characters that are made up. It's just so awesome. I really like it. So that is Clockwork Angel. Run by Kira Cass, and my copy is signed. Let's see if I can flip it open. I love this series. This is the last in the selection series, and it's so good. The ending was very shocking, and it's a good little story, and I really enjoyed it. It's all princesses, and it's such a cute story, and I totally recommend this. I know a lot of people don't like the first two books, and the first two books were all right, but this book was really awesome, and I can't wait for the last one to come out in 2015. Vampire Academy by Michelle Mead. This series was so amazing. It's another, I read this series after I read Divergent, and this series up here was so amazing, and I decided to grab the first book because it's so amazing. Again, I just love it. It's so hard for me to describe my favorite books because I just love them so much. I'm speechless. I just like the vampires in it, and it's not boring cliche vampires, and it's so cool about these two best friends because I love friendship stories. I don't know why, but I do. But this series is so great. Alienated by Melissa Landers. I love this cover. It's so cool. The galaxy is half and half, and this book series is about an exchange student, which is the alien and Nikki's from Lear. I think it's a planet or the moon. I'm not really sure, but they're trying to form an alliance with Earth. So he's an exchange student. He comes to Earth and he meets Kara, and of course they fall in love, as you can tell by this cover. And this is almost like a contemporary, it kind of reminded me of. And things start to get really bad, and and the whole society hates the aliens. Some people hate them. Some people like the aliens coming. Some people think that these aliens are trying to ruin Earth or trying to take over Earth. But it's so cool, and the ending is awesome, and I cannot wait for Invaded, the second book that is coming out in 2015. All these books I love. I have to wait for this upcoming year, but Invaded, I need it. I read Until Midnight, the little novella short story, and I read the first 4 chapters of Invaded, and it's just so cool. I love this. Perfect Wave by Rick Yancey. This series is such a phenomenal book, these two books, and I can't wait for the third one. This is what I don't like about books. I have to keep waiting for all these books to come out in the rest of the series. This is pretty popular. It's very, very good. It's hard to get into at first, and I did not like it at first. But as you go on, it's really shocking and fascinating and intriguing, and you just don't want to stop reading. And this is another alien-ish book, and the second book is just as good, but the first book, I don't know, I just have a thing about it, and I really like it. And it's so crazy how like such good these books are, and good job, Ricancy. Like I could never write a story that like crazy and awesome. It's like mind-blowing. Summer by Emery Ward. This is a summer contemporary book. I love it so much, and I love the rainbow on the cover. It's just like such a happy book. When you read it, it's like you feel so happy, and like it's such a cute story. And it's a little love story. There's also friendship involved, and the main character Reagan, her friend, is a country singer, and I love country music. And so did Allie, Lovely Book 29. She recommended this book to me, and she really loved it. So I love it so much too, and it's a perfect summer read. City of Heavenly Fire by Cassandra Clare, the last book in the Mortal Instruments series. It's such a great ending. Cassandra Clare said 7 main characters were going to die, and everyone made predictions of who was going to die, and I was like freaked out, and I think everyone was like shocked and scared reading this book, but guess what? No one died! Cassandra Clare had fooled us. It's such a great ending, even though I cried because I'm just so sad the series is over, and I loved it. Open up the door and say Happily Ever After by Stephanie Perkins. And let me tell you, this was a happily ever after. This is the third book in an Anna and French Kiss, Little and Boy Next Door little trilogy. And they're not really a series because they're about 3 separate girls, Anna, Lola, and Isla. And it's just so cool because it takes place, Anna is in Paris, Lola in San Francisco, and Isla in New York. Although this takes place at the school a little bit in Paris. And they're like little contemporary love stories, and they're just so sweet, and they weren't boring at all. Sometimes contemporaries that I read, I get a little bored, but I just really fell in love with these books, and I'm so sad it ended. And of course, that means the next book will be Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. It's the first book, and it's so pretty, and Paris, I so want to go there. That's like the #1 place I really want to go to, and this is like, it's such a cute story, and I love it so much, and a lot of people have read this, and really, if you haven't read it, I totally recommend it, and the series is so happy, and I never reread books, but I totally would reread this, and I think I might again, like in the summer, because it's contemporary.
Left her all alone and never told her why. And that's how it
The Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer, Cinder, Scarlet, and Cress. This series is futuristic and sci-fi, and it's so amazing. I finished Cress not too long ago, yesterday. This series is so great, and I can't wait for the last one that's coming out in 2015, and also the novella about the Queen. This series is like so like thrilling and actiony, and I just can't get enough of it. So the lighting is really dark because I'm filming at 11 o'clock at night. I actually just refilmed this because I was editing it, and this video was way too long to upload. So I had to shorten it and quickly go through each book very fast. But sorry it's really late and dark out in the summer. It's going to be better with the sun, and I just didn't have time to film during the day. But Happy New Year! You're going to see this on New Year's. But for me, it's almost New Year's Eve. I have like an hour, and I'm going to try to watch TV and upload another video because I want to watch the ball drop and see how crazy New York City is. Bye guys, thanks for watching!
The coldest girl in heaven? What?